Hey guys, Frosty here, and this video or this podcast. I should start saying podcast. This episode is basically all about Deshaun Watson. I think he's a top five quarterback in the league. What do you think? He's a top five quarterback. I know, but anyways, I decided to do a top seven. Now I know a top seven. That's a weird list. That's a random number. Well, I could do it because he's probably going to be losing seven digits of amounts of money every week because let's be honest, this team is going to strangle him to death. I am sorry, Deshaun, get out of there. Please, I love you. But the top seven, okay, the two are basically extra mentions because I'll explain why. But these are the teams that I think he can go to, especially since, I get it. Like, I mean, I do get it, but still. Let's go. Number seven. The Chicago Bears. Number seven, starting with the team that passed up Deshaun Watson for Mitch Trubisky. Oh boy, this is hilarious. So obviously the Bears need the quarterback, and they don't want to debunk on the figure. I don't know. But the main reason why they're here is because if it's like, I mean, it's gonna cost you. It's gonna cost you doing another Khalil Mack like trade. So I'll say two first rounders are out, a second, and two first, 2 seconds, which is already, I'd say, a good load. And then here's the problem: you have to give up Robert Quinn in a third or Khalil Mack. Now you know why they're number seven. Obviously, they're not cap crunching it, so they can afford to get Deshaun Watson. And Khalil Mack only has one more year. Like, it's been 4 years since that horrific Khalil Mack trade. Yes. So, I mean, it wouldn't be horrible, especially since you really need more offense than defense. Or do you give up Robert Quinn? But, yeah, like I said, this one wouldn't cost as much, but I think the Bears probably should go for a mediocre quarterback. Maybe even Jared Goff, just someone better than Trubisky, and keep your defense pretty solidified, personally. But if we're going to talk about overpayments, that's what the next one is. Number six. The New England Patriots. Oh boy. So I put them at number one at quarterback, but they're number six here. They are number one on another list I will eventually make. Because, of course, I have to make a Jimmy Garoppolo list, I gotta make a Jared Goff list, and I gotta make a Matthew Stafford list. If you've watched any of my podcast episodes of this year, you already know basically that there is guaranteed one. One of those that I have been dying for. Maybe I was gonna say I'm not gonna do a Sam Darnold one unless he either is traded or is rumored to be traded, because it sounds like the Jets are keeping him. Although he is a real head coach. But what team was they talking about? Oh, the greatest team, yeah. The Patriots. Oh god. Oh, jeez. I did not want to talk about Deshaun Watson because I saw the trade that would have to make this work, and it's gonna hurt. Now, I will say, out of all the trades, the New England Patriots actually get the most back, which you'll see how much the most back is. They have to give up, and listen closely, snuggle in your blankets or whatever you're doing, and just listen closely. 2 first rounds, 2 second, a third, Neil Henry, which is basically a first, and then J.C. Jackson, who got 11 interceptions this season. For Deshaun Watson, a sixth, and a rookie tight end. That's the best any team will get out of a trade. Now, this is why they're number 6. We're not as bad as a cap crunch as basically other teams like the Saints, the Pittsburgh Steelers. So any team that has SA and their name kind of sucks, and they lost in the playoffs, and they suck because they suck so badly, and they're horrible. No, I'm just kidding. There are other teams that do have a cap crunch that, of course, will be affected by COVID, and there are teams that just won't be affected by COVID. But yeah, that's the main reason of why New England is here. Like, I'm not even going to go into detail. He would be really good there. He'd have actually he'd have good defense. I think he'd have one of the best O-lines. Honestly, I think Deshaun would be beyond extremely good there. But I just don't think the Patriots, A, it's not worth it. We can get other quarterbacks for a lot less. B, I love Deshaun. It's just not worth it. I can't give up JC for that much. N'Keal Harry, yeah, sure, but I'm not giving up JC. Now we get to the teams that have a shot. The Pittsburgh Steelers. This team is such a good... No. Okay, yeah, no. This team isn't gonna... No. I will... No. As much as I'd say they would, it would be their entire defense for a quarterback, which is not worth it. So no. No, I can't stop joking. San Francisco 49ers. They have a lot of youth, a lot of depth, and a lot of draft picks. Pretty much that's it. Like, they'd have to give up 2 first-round picks, maybe either Jimmy Garoppolo or Nick Bosa, and maybe 1 second-round pick. And then they probably could land Deshaun Watson straight up. They'd be doing pretty good. But they also are a team that can get a lot of cap room and has a lot of talent. I think Deshaun might even bring back the Bay back and would make a really strong team. And he'd be up against a lot of tough teams, but he'd be up against the DeAndre Hopkins. Let's move to number 4. Number 4, this... Gotcha there. Actually, number 4 is the New York Jets. Yeah, we'll talk about this. Why are the Jets not number 1? To be honest, I feel like I should move them up, but I'm not. The Jets would give purely picks and maybe Darnold. And that's not the number... I don't think they should be the number 1 team because of... Watson has said he's okay, but 4 and 3 will show you why I don't think they're going to get Watson. The Jets won't get it because of 3, and 3 won't get it because of the Jets. It will be really close. It depends what system they're going to go for. But they're like considered the number. Them and like 2 other teams are considered like the number 1 chance of getting them. I don't know. Just because if I'm the Texans, there are some better teams. Number 3, you got the Miami Dolphins. Why do I give them the leg up? A, because they have Devontae Parker, who's a really good receiver, and their defense is actually really good. That's why I give them the leg up. B, the Texans get their picks back and a future quarterback in Tua. That's not bad. That speeds the rebuild up 2 to 3 years. That means like maybe 1 more year and you could still make playoffs. That's the thing. This trade is so good. But I feel like the Jets also have the potential to give more than Miami can, because I don't think Miami's going to give up anyone on that defense, and definitely not Devontae Parker. So it'll be close. But there is a ridiculous trader who gets the number 3. Or number 2, I guess. Number 2, Carolina Panthers. Jeez, why are they here? I I don't know. I mean, the main reason why I put him here is simply this. Hypothetically, and of course they've shifted towards Stafford, so like I said, the Panthers probably could get Stafford easily, but I think a lot of teams could get Stafford easily. The problem with Watson is it's straight up to what teams can. But the Panthers hypothetically could give up McCaffrey and multiple firsts, or give up a bunch of drafts and Teddy Bridgewater to get him. And I think it'd be better. Again, if they get McCaffrey, then I mean, yeah, everyone. I mean, they probably would cut David. It would probably include, like, hey, we'll give you Duke Johnson or David Johnson. So the trade would be more of a swapping or shedding of contract. Honestly, if you get David Johnson, wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I mean, he's still productive. If he can stay healthy, great. But there's a lot of promise there, and really, I think it'll be interesting to see what that is. But on to number 1. What team can give up so much and give up so? Sorry. Um, I gave away our number 1. The Falcons. Okay, you might say the Falcons. No one's talked about the Falcons. You're crazy. You're stupid. Get out. Get out. Do you know what the Falcons could offer? Matty Ice, Grady Jarrett, Calvin Ridley, and a second and third round pick, or just even a first. You could get Justin Fields and pretty much get back up there, and have Matty Ice minimum. I'm not saying Julio because it doesn't make sense to trade Julio, but a young developing receiver, a young good defensive tackle, an old but still good quarterback. Sounds like playoffs, baby. As for the Falcons, you're the new Texans. You got a nice, sexy defense. Pardon the language, but you got a nice defense. You got Julio Jones and Deshaun Watson. Still pretty good O-line. A running game. Because you still have Todd Gurley and will extend him because I will murder if you don't. But yeah, as funny as it is, I just think if the Texans delude themselves into competing or thinking that, hey, we can still compete. Yeah, you got a shot with that trade. I mean, I have no words. I mean, you got a shot. But that will be all for today. Hope you all have a great day and stay frosty.